Assalamu alaikum. As you guys can tell by the title, today is a marriage related topic. So I've had many requests from sisters who wanted advice regarding marriage. So I'm here to present y'all through experience what I find to be red flags to look out for, my advice, and let's talk about the things that I think it's so important for sisters to look out for before they get married. Is this brother merely talking, or is he fulfilling what he's saying? Leading on from that point is that if a man pays attention to what you're saying and your interests, and he puts in effort to cater towards those interests, okay. Now, the red flags, and this is based off of my experience and off of what I've heard before, but if that man is telling you his standards for you, and all it is serving him, such as having babies, a clean house, but it isn't anything deeper than that, such as a loving connection, catering towards love languages, you've got to run away. You're becoming his mum. You heard? On that topic as well, a mummy's boy. If that boy treats his mum like his girlfriend, run away. Nothing is in a particular order in this video, by the way. It's just everything that comes to my mind because I really wanted to make this video. You need to love yourself and you need to get over whatever problems you had with yourself, with your family, before you get into a marriage. Do you hear me? I had so many things I needed to heal from before I got myself into a relationship to make sure I do not put that burden onto my partner. Did you guys hear? Loud and clear. Write it down. Maybe let's say you struggle with your 5 prayers. Fix that now. Let's say that you struggle with affection. Fix that now. Love you for who you are, because if you don't love you for who you are, you're going to seek validation from other people and they're going to use that to manipulate you. And sister, you don't want that. Oh yeah, also know your worth. Yeah, this sounds like such a everybody says that, but no, but they're right though. Know your worth, because if you have a brother telling you, oh, I have so many story times that I'm just gonna keep quiet about. If you're in a vulnerable position where you don't know your worth, you don't actually love yourself, that brother is going to use you, and you're going to think that your worth depends on him. So your worth depends on having his children, on having a clean house, on serving him, and that's not your worth. You can live without him. He's there so that it creates like a companionship. You guys complement each other. So many sisters, they come into this headspace thinking I can't live without this guy, I can't live without this guy. And watch, because Allah is going to test you, yeah, and he's going to remove the guy from your life because you're saying that. Make sure that you establish your worth beforehand. You establish your standards as well. So many sisters came to me about this. They were like, what questions should I ask? What standards should I have? You don't tolerate yelling. You don't tolerate belittling. You don't tolerate insults and arguing. You just tolerate communication, even in arguments. Because if at any point it gets to insults, it will lead to more, which I can almost guarantee it will lead to divorce. So you need to have a standard on communication and argument. Me personally, yeah, I think the raising the voice is a bit some may be able to tolerate it. Me personally, I can't tolerate it. I was brought up in a household where it's always shouting, and if somebody's going to yell at me when they're screaming, I'm going to punch you in your nose. I just can't tolerate that. Another thing is that I need him to be an affectionate guy. That was one of my expectations. I wanted a person who's going to be affectionate. If you know that one of your love languages is physical touch, then you want a man who's also affectionate. That's something you look for. Somebody who takes seeking knowledge very, very seriously. You want to dedicate your life to seeking knowledge. Then you want to find a brother who also wants to do that. Because if you find a brother who's not interested in the same way you are, then it's going to be really hard. Maybe also find a brother the same manhaj as you. Make sure, yeah, that he knows the principles of Tawheed and he follows them. And also, this video, by the way, you guys, the men can apply it the other way around. The only reason I'm talking about sisters right now is because I'm a sister. This was another standard I had. I don't want to live with in-laws. I want my own house. If there's a man out there who's making you compromise on this standard by saying he wants you to live with in-laws, he wants you to take care of his parents, sister, you're officially employed. In itself is not bad, voluntarily, but if that brother is seeking marriage with you, partially because he wants you to take care of his parents, run away. You're not obligated to do that. Many brothers like to manipulate it. You are not obligated Islamically to take care of his parents. You do it out of the kindness of your heart, but it's not an obligation. This is the opinion of many ulama. Oh my gosh, another advice from me. Big sister advice. Let's go. Please, sisters, seek knowledge, know your rights beforehand. I said I would make a video. My life has changed so much, it's really hard. I still remember the stuff I said. I really need to make a video on the sisters' rights. I have a video posted on my TikTok. You need to know your rights because men will be manipulating. The worst, they be manipulating, so make sure you guys know your rights. Sisters, look out for this. This might make people mad. I don't care though. If a brother, says he just wants to do the Islamic marriage and he doesn't want anything legal, run away. if you're living in the West, yeah, ideally, we'd want to just rely on an Islamic marriage and the law of the land is Sharia, yeah? So our rights are upheld. However, it's not the case. So at any given moment, if he divorces you or whatever it may be, he's abusing you, and he decides, you know what, I'm not going to give her rights, and you go to complain to the imam, he can't do anything. If you go to the government or you seek help from the authorities, one or the other, they're not going to recognize your Islamic marriage and your Islamic right. Do your marriage legally as well. So in this video, I come across a bit annoyed. I'm annoyed at both ends because, you know, I came across a video of a guy saying, my wife, and so the first side was her completely covered. Nothing wrong with that. A second side was her with a brick phone. Okay, let's hope you do that too. Third one, her friend, which was just her husband. Her best friend, which was her son. And then in the comments, he was like, this is protective jealousy. You restricting your wife of socializing with other people and actually having a life, that's not protective jealousy, mate. That is quite literally abuse. And I fear you'd low-key be holding her hostage. I'm all for you, your woman doing that if you're doing the same thing. Okay, so stay away from the men who have expectations upon you, but they don't want to have any expectations upon them. They expect you to have some Nokia brick phone, but they're out here with their iPhone 16. Move. Elbow them. Communication. Why does nobody know how to communicate now? You don't like what your wife is doing, communicate with her. I don't like your friends. I feel like they're changing you. They may be engaging in haram. I don't want you to do that. Cool. Make her understand. What do you mean you're limiting her to just her son as her friend and you as her best friend? Like, that's just not on. Also, yeah, if you have hobbies that are not haram and you want to pursue them even after marriage, talk with this brother about your hobbies. If you have a hobby for the gym, see his stance on it. He doesn't like it. He doesn't prefer you go to the gym. Make sure he opts for something at home, because if he's willing to take away the things you love to do, he needs to cater towards your interests, is what I said at the beginning of the video. And if he's willing to not cater towards those interests and ignore it and just do, it's him or nothing, guys, run away. Marriage, yeah, it's not something minor, like it's something huge. If you get yourself into a bad marriage, God forbid, yeah, it's gonna be so hard, one, for you to get out of that marriage, and two, for you to recover from that marriage. And you're gonna be wounded. You're not gonna, psychologically, it's gonna be very hard for you to move past it. Or something like kind of, I'm gonna try and like say this in the most motherly way I can. You're young and you still have GCSEs to do and potentially college to do. Pursue it before you think about marriage, because at 16, yeah, after you've done your GCSEs and you're approaching A-levels, you think you're grown. You're not grown. You're not grown. Like, my thinking from when I was 16 compared to now, wallahi guys, it's changed dramatically. And I think like I would have genuinely ruined my life if I had gotten married young. You're young, you're more vulnerable, you're more naive, you're not as knowledgeable, because knowledge, you know, it adds on with time. You need to know, yeah, that you're someone before you get into a marriage. Because if you're young, yeah, you've just finished your GCSEs, you don't know what you actually want to do. You only have GCSEs. What else do you have to fall back on? You don't have any work experience. You don't have any qualification other than your GCSEs. The risk of getting to a bad one and ruining your life at a young age is so high that I wouldn't advise you guys go into it. Yeah, like I see 16-year-olds, yeah, they'd be romanticizing marriage, but at 16 you don't know what marriage is. You don't know the responsibility marriage holds. Trust me, yeah, you don't know. And marriage is a beautiful thing, but it's also a hard thing that comes with a lot of sacrifices, yeah, that I didn't know. I was naive and stupid when I was little. When I was like, I can handle it. If I got married then, yeah, like I would, I don't know what would have become. If you guys enjoyed this video, I hope you guys took something away from this video. Hope you guys don't think I'm too mean or harsh in this video. It's just I have to be so straightforward because many sisters be ruining their lives. And even brothers too, yeah. I sympathize with both. Assalamu alaikum.